Chapter 10. Blake, Maribel, and Jordan worked on a menu for the next few hours. Around 2 that afternoon, Blake's phone buzzed in his pocket. He fished the phone out and saw it was his mother. "Ladies, it's my mom. I have to take this." Maribel nodded. "Okay, I'm taking a break," Jordan said before heading out of the kitchen. Blake eagerly answered the phone. "Son, I'm so glad you're there. I can't tell you how sorry I am that I missed your homecoming." "It's okay, Mom. When are you coming home?" She sighed. "There are things I can't tell you." "What does that mean?" "Mom, it's me. I'm not here to judge you, but I need to know what's going on." "I'm setting up a life in San Francisco. Once everything is in place, I'm coming to get Elsa and the boys. And if your father can tear himself away from Friendly, he's welcome to join us." Blake couldn't believe what he was hearing. He'd been to San Francisco. It was a place to visit, not live. And his mother had lived her whole life in Friendly. "Mom, I went to the Army. I loved serving our country, but I missed Friendly. As much as I like living in a big city, there's no place like home. Still hate ranching, but there are reasons I'm back here. Maybe you should join me." "Blake, you don't know what's happening." "You're right. Why don't you come home and tell me? I'm ready to listen. Please, Mom, we need you." "Son, you know how much I love you and your brothers and sisters. I will be back soon, but I'm hoping everyone will agree to move to California." "Mom!" "I love you, Blake. Elsa just broke up with her boyfriend. She's brokenhearted. Alexis has tried to help her, but she has her own family. I'm doing the best I can, but I can't replace you. You're irreplaceable, Mom. Please come home." "Blake, one day you're going to understand why I'm gone. I love you." The line went dead. Maribel was wiping down a spotless counter. Blake put the phone away from his ear and stared at it. He was more confused now that he'd talked with his mother. Clearly, he was missing some information. "She got fed up with what's going on," Maribel said. "You know more about this?" "I guess Lex told you about the Marshalls?" "No, who are the Marshalls?" "I think Alexis should tell you. It's quite a mess." "Maribel, please, what is happening with my family?" She sighed and folded her arms. "I'll tell you a little bit, but this is family stuff. You know the Marshalls moved away, right?" "No. Who are they and why did they move away?" "No one knows. There was some type of agreement between your dad and the Marshalls and a lot of rumors. It had something to do with one of your brothers. Your mom wanted to get answers from Mrs. Marshall, but when she went by to talk with her, the house was cleaned out and they were gone." "Sounds like they left in a hurry. What's the consensus around town?" Blake asked. "The rumor mill claims it was because there had been some impropriety. The Marshalls were new in town, so I figured they just wanted to move out and not have anything hanging over their heads." "Wow, I can't imagine what my mom went through. Now Alexis is dealing with the fallout." "She's been so worried about you. I hope the nightmares have stopped." Blake felt his face redden. He didn't want Maribel to know about his problems. "It's okay, I'm not judging you." "I hope being here calms your nerves," Maribel said, gently touching his arm. He wasn't sure what to say, but he liked the feel of her fingers around his forearm. Blake stared into Maribel's eyes, feeling the room spin. The moment seemed to be frozen in time. Seconds that felt like hours passed. "I know I've been a little gruff since you've been home, but I'm happy you're here." "Thanks, Maribel. And I'm here for you if you need me." "Is this just a ploy to get me over your house to pay off my future debt for losing the souffle bet?" Maribel giggled, holding eye contact with him. Blake loved the way her eyes sparkled. "So this is your dream?" Maribel asked, looking away and changing the subject. "Well, I thought it was." "You're not happy to be back in Friendly, are you?" "It's not that. I just thought this would make me happy, running a restaurant, being home with the family, and remembering where I'm from. But it's not doing that. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the opportunity, but I still feel like something is missing from my life." "When I feel that way, I head out on Graham and Grandpa's property. I see the animals. I might milk a cow, collect some eggs from the coop, or take a swim in that little pond on the edge of the land. It reminds me of how good my life is and how lucky I am to have all this beauty. Then there's Lucien and the fact that the whole town wrapped its arms around me and took care of me and my boy. That's a beautiful way to look at things. I admire the fact that you've always loved the land, Blake said. Yes, it's peaceful. Think about it. Walking through the tall grass, the bees buzzing around you, the sun shining on your face. Think about what really matters. Faith, family, and being a good person. Blake thought about how he had let his faith and family go over the years. He hadn't been in on the family drama, but he also missed out on the good things. Other than Zoom calls, he had completely lost touch with his family. After Alexis's wedding, he'd found excuses to avoid friendly. His ex-wife had encouraged him to forget about their hometown as they moved from one metropolis to another. Blake hadn't put up much of a fight. Between the PTSD and the tumultuous nature of his marriage, Blake was more than happy to stay away from friendly. Now he realized the slow, sweet pace of friendly would have forced him to face the misery of his life. Blake wasn't sure he was a good person. He hadn't done anything bad, but was he a good person? Was he still living a selfless life? I'm sure there are beautiful places in the city, but I'll take friendly any day, Maribel said. You don't ever think about leaving? Never. I want to buy a piece of land and ranch my life away. You really love ranching. I do. It's the best thing I've ever done. I think you could at least like it. You just need to take a few moments to let it sink in on how special it is. Maybe instead of eating my bad cooking, you'll come out and walk the land with me. Blake nodded. He had no desire to have a ranch, but he couldn't deny how peaceful he felt now that he was back and friendly. And spending more time with Maribel was something he wanted. I did my time pulling pigs out of ditches, culling, planting, and dealing with the woes of ranching. Fair enough, but you haven't been through those things with me. Blake felt his cheeks warm. Maribel looked away, an embarrassed look on her face. What did she mean by that? Blake wondered. We better get back to the menu, Maribel said.